Hello, so it's Miss Moorfield again, and we've already talked about negative fractions and negative decimals in class, so tonight's video is going to be short. It's going to be a review of what we've done in class, as well as an opportunity for you to show me that you really are mastering these skills. So you'll notice we have our number line again, except this time I haven't given you any numbers. You'll see that one of my lines is marked X, but I don't have any other numbers. I will tell you the highlighted lines represent whole integers. So we're going to look and see if we can figure out A, B, and C. And you'll notice the title, I'm going to want both the fraction and the decimal. So the first thing I need to do is figure out my intervals. Between two whole numbers, I see two lines or three spaces. So each one of these intervals, I'm going up by 1/3, which I know is equivalent to 33 hundredths, repeating 33 hundredths, but rounded. So each of my intervals is either going to be 1/3 or 33 hundredths. So then I'm going to look at my situations. So if x equals 0, find c. So if I put a 0 here, then that would make that a 1, that would make that a 2, a -1, and a -2. So c is two intervals between 1 and 2, which means it's a positive 1.66 if it's 2 33 hundredths, 1 and 66 hundredths, which is the same as 1 and 2/3. So I would need to put both my decimal and my fraction. Now this time, if I erase my numbers and look at my next situation, I find out that x actually equals a -5, which means this would be -4, this would be -3, this is a -6, and this is a -7. So now I'm looking at B here. So I'm one interval away from my -5. So I know it's going to be a -5.33 or -5 and 33 hundredths, which is equivalent to -5 and 1/3. Hopefully you can still see that on your screen. So again, the fraction and the decimal. Each third represents 33 hundredths. Erase my numbers again, and we're going to look at one more situation before you have an opportunity to practice. So this time I find out that my x equals 2. So this would equal 3, this would equal 4, this would equal 1, and this would leave me at 0. So I'm finding A. So A is between 0 and 1, and it's at the first interval, which means my A equals 33 hundredths, or 1/3. So given the knowledge of fractions and decimals, both positive and negative, you should be able to use them interchangeably on a number line. You should be able to find C as a fraction and A as a decimal, or B as both, regardless, because we can convert our fractions and decimals into whichever one we need to use. So what you need to do tonight is, using my number line, find A, B, and C, so find all 3 points, as fractions and decimals given x equals -6. So you may need to go back to the previous slide. You may need to draw the number line yourself. But if x equals -6, find all 3 points using both fractions and decimals from my number line. If you're going to draw it, draw the same one I have. Do not create your own number line. Also, post any questions, and I will see you on Monday.